So how do you stick to a healthy routine while you are traveling? Hello, this is Anna Laura Brown, host of the Autoimmune Rehab podcast, where I talk about all different things healthy, simple living for people with autoimmune conditions so that you can learn how to thrive and not just merely survive with your life. And I am here in probably one of the most beautiful places that I have ever been to. I'm actually here at a resort in Palina in southern Sicily in Italy, so really amazing. Took me a really long time to get here though. In case you're wondering, it was about 24 hours from the time that my flight first took off, from the time that I walked in the door of the hotel. Now granted, that included some waiting around for transportation, other things like that, and then there is a full 8-hour time difference from my home state in Utah to here. So, kind of a big adjustment, but I would say couple of the tips that I have for you when you travel and stick to a healthy routine is, one thing, try to stick to that routine as much as your normal routine as much as possible. I know it's really difficult when you're traveling. Personally, for me, my work actually paid for this trip and I'm here for a work trip. So there's things like we are at a resort and we have like meetings that start at 9 a.m. every day pretty much, and dinner actually isn't even served till 7:30. So like certain things where, I normally stop eating by 6 p.m. and do a longer window of intermittent fasting, just not possible here because of our schedule. But, to the extent that you can stick with that, it's good. Also get out and walk and take advantage of the beautiful nature scenery. I'll turn this around at the end of the video actually so you can see, because we're literally like really close to a beach, but you can't really see it as much with me trying to show myself at the moment. But just get out and walk. So like right now it's about 8 a.m. and I'm out walking for a little bit, and then I'm gonna eat breakfast right before I go into my 9 a.m. meeting. So, take advantage, get out, walk, stretch, that kind of thing. And especially, I don't know about you, but especially if you come somewhere like anywhere in Europe, you typically are going to walk more no matter what. But you really want to make sure that you get that walking, those steps in, because, if you're anything like me, like especially I come here to Europe and I definitely don't stick to the gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free thing when I'm in Europe, because the things don't bother me as much here as they do in the States. And I just find that it's, I'm here on vacation. It's like the one time I feel like sometimes I can eat some of that stuff. Although I am going to include probably some pictures and video of some of the food so you can just get a sense of some of what we've been eating. But I actually just found this little path here that actually will take me down a little bit farther, closer to the beach, so that I can share some of that with you as footage at the very end, right before I go back to breakfast. But anyhow, yeah, just kind of try to do that. I also find it really helps to slow down a little bit. So to the extent that you have control over your schedule, which like I mentioned, I don't really have that control here on this trip specifically, try to not overwhelm yourself by visiting too many things at once. Try to take things a little slower, a little easier pace. And, I would say no more than one big major museum or location visiting on one day. I'm going to be doing an olive oil tour tomorrow, so I'm sure I'll probably get some footage from that. I'll probably show that in a separate video though. But, and then just try to slow down a little bit. Try to still go to bed around the same amount of bedtime that you normally would. So I've definitely been able to do that. And try to get up around the same time so that you can get, that good high quality sleep, and, you can stick to that circadian rhythm, that kind of thing. And make sure that you travel with like your normal supplements, maybe even bring some extra ones to help boost your immune system. Make sure that you drink plenty of water. So, I'm constantly filling up my water bottle, all that kind of stuff. So, haven't gone in swimming yet, but I'm planning to try that. Not sure if I'm going to do that today. Might be tomorrow by the time I get around to it, but we'll see. I'm definitely going to be swimming at some point while I'm here. So now, those are pretty much a lot of the tips that I have for when you come on a trip. So now let me just take a few minutes here and I'm going to show you some of the scenery. Isn't that just really beautiful? Yes, like I said, this is Sicily. Italy, more specifically where it was called the Palina Resort. So I think we're in Palina, Sicily. Not totally sure. You can fly into either Catania or Palermo airports to get here. I flew into Catania, which was like a 2-hour bus ride. Palermo, I think, is more like an hour or so. But anyhow, you can just kind of see all these beautiful trees here on the property, which are actually giving me more allergies than I would like. But, you know, I mean, it's really, really super beautiful. You can see the different beach view rooms, which is one of the places that I've been staying in. So anyhow, just wanted to share some of this footage to end this video. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing this and get something out of the tips that I shared.